But aid agencies here say the government has cut back its overseas aid in the past year by a fifth. They say the government just simply will not meet that target of 0.7%.
I was assured yesterday during my visit that they would be committed to implement their target, 0.7%. This is very important. Every country is going through difficult international economic crisis. Ireland is no exception. But I'm confident that Ireland will be able to overcome this economic crisis sooner than many other countries, considering your human asset as well as already established very good economic structures. This will help you boost your economy soon. Now, even with this economic crisis, it is very important that developed countries like Ireland should lead by example. There are so many developing countries, most vulnerable countries, who do not have any capacity at all to address this issue. We must help them.
The OECD recently said that the Irish government should refrain from any further budget cutbacks inconsistent with its targets. Would you agree with that sentiment?
I fully agree with that. I met the Secretary General of OECD, Angel Gurria, in Geneva during the time of a high-level ECOSOC meeting. We coordinate very closely, and I fully agree with his assessment.
In Ireland's case, you're saying there should be no more cutbacks in aid?
No more cutback.
Can I move on to peacekeeping, which is obviously a role Ireland has played very strongly in recent years? You said yesterday again that Ireland should maintain its commitment to peacekeeping. What more would you like Ireland to do in terms of peacekeeping around the world with the UN?
Irish government and people have been contributing very generously and participating very actively in peacekeeping operations since 1955. You joined the United Nations. Not a single day has passed during the last half a century, 50 years, when without the Irish soldier working for peace and stability around the world. Now you are having in 7 different missions. We are now keeping 16 different missions around the world. That means you are covering almost half of all these missions. That is a very commendable contribution. In the course of this contribution, I'm sorry that at least 90 people have lost their lives. This is very sad, but their sacrifice will be remembered, will contribute to everlasting peace and security. Your contribution in Chad, your willingness to rehat these forces in UFO to MINUCAT, that was critically important in smoothly transferring this UFO mission to MINUCAT. General Pat Nash was highly commendable force commander there, and you have the Brigadier General Ahern, who is now acting as a deputy force commander in MINUCAT. This Irish contribution has been very commendable. Now we've been working in Lebanon, and your contribution to many parts of the world. I count on more contribution from Irish government. This is totally compatible with the goals and objectives of the United Nations.
You said yesterday that our EU commitments are completely compatible with our UN commitments, but some people here fear that the Lisbon Treaty, if passed, will make the EU more military. It will harm Ireland's role as an honest broker, as a neutral country in the world. Do you think Lisbon's consistent with our UN role?
That is true. The role of regional organizations like European Union and African Union is crucially important in carrying out the major ideals of the United Nations. If you confirm and support this Lisbon Treaty according to the wills of your own people, then this will be completely in consistence with the major goals and ideals of the United Nations.
So no contradiction between our neutrality?
No contradiction whatsoever.
Finally, I believe Dag Hammarskjöld, one of your predecessors, said that the Secretary General's job is the most impossible job in the world. More than 2 years into your term, how do you feel about that? Is it the most impossible job?
It has been quite difficult, at the same time humbling mission for me. I have been traveling many places around the world. I have been meeting many different the people, particularly those vulnerable people. There are many women and girls and the sick people whose human rights are not properly protected. When I meet those people, I cannot but be always humble. And whenever I meet them, I have a far more stronger resolve to work for the protection and promotion of human rights, to work more for the better world through harmonious economic and social development.
But do you ever see the suffering and say, oh, I'm losing hope, I'm hopeless in this situation?
We need the global response to this kind of issues. Therefore, that is why recently I have been urging that we need a renewed multilateralism. This renewed multilateralism, supported by global partnership and principles and resources and political will. We need to have all the member states of the United Nations working together with the United Nations for a better world. This is our political and moral imperative. I'm beginning my day every day as if this is my first day as a Secretary General. I have always committed. I have always strengthened energy and resolve to work for peace, development, and human rights. And I count on continued leadership and commitment of Irish people and government.
That's very good. Thank you, Secretary General. Thank you. We'll leave it at that. And we're just going to sit here for a moment. Yeah. I was reading some as well that when you were younger, to practice your English, that you walked 6 miles to go and talk to the US administrators of local factories. Is that true?
Very strong.
Okay. Yep. Okay. We'll just roll now for 2 minutes.
And is this me chatting?
If we could take alternate turns, so if you could talk for...
I'll just talk for a few seconds here. You don't need to say anything at all. This is just to prove that I was actually here chatting away to you. I thought it was very interesting what you were saying about the notion of, with the Gleneagles commitments, revisiting them and looking at the